Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry, 24/7 shopping available. 160920 is the code. Show her some love, like she showed us. K&A Custom Crafts on Facebook.
Well, hello everybody, and welcome to Coast to Coast Entertainment Network's Entertainment Hour, the 4th episode. Yes, we've gone through 4 episodes. We could still be canceled after, 5 or 6. As the topics we have one time is about TV sitcoms, and we've seen that before where shows just don't last, and it's just gone by then. But we have star-studded cast here. Not me, of course, but Crispy Bacon, of course, is in that side. I never talk about myself.
Yep.
I will never talk about myself unless I really do something really good or bad. Crispy Bacon, how are you today?
Not too bad. How's everybody doing this evening?
And then we have Dragon Viper below us, but above us. How are you, Dragon Viper?
I'm doing good. Been kind of a draining couple weeks, but hanging in there and ready to do the show.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I guess some breaking news, but it's been out for a couple of hours now. Beloved actor Ryan O'Neal passed away. He was famous for movies like Love Story, The Main Event, Paper Moon, so movies in the 70s mostly. Barry Lyndon, What's Up, Doc? I think I recognize that one. He was in the TV show Bones. He was Father Toby Coulter. So if you watch that show out there, you would probably recognize him from that, among other things. He was in one episode of Desperate Housewives, 3 episodes of 90210, the TV series that came back, I think, on the CW, I want to say. And then, of course, I know him from Malibu's Most Wanted. He was Bill Gluckman, the son of B-Rad. I forgot how that goes, but I don't want to throw anything up. But Malibu. So yeah, he was the father of that. That's where I first seen him. Like, I didn't see him in anything else, honestly. But I know he was always in roles that, the movies weren't so good or the TV shows weren't good, but you just know that face. It's like you just see that face and you know who that is instantly. So, Crispy Bacon, I'll go to you. How will you remember Ryan O'Neal?
No, he was in a lot of movies and a couple shows. It's always sad when you have an actor and actress, that's been in Hollywood or in the entertainment business for a while. It's sad to see, anybody passing away. He'll definitely be missed.
Definitely. Dragon Viper, how do you feel, unfortunately, about the passing of Ryan O'Neal?
It's a horrible thing. It's like what Chris was saying. It's a horrible thing when you've got an actor or actress that, passes away. I mean, the only time I ever really saw him as an actor was in Malibu's Most Wanted. So, but other than that, I had no idea that he had produced more movies than he's been in. I did, a little bit of research and saw the stuff that he was in, and I didn't really watch much of anything that he was in. So, but yeah, it's it kind of sucks when an actor or actress does pass away, and he will be missed for those that do remember him. So
that's a good way to put it. And again, Ryan O'Neal, actor, passed away today at age 82. Again, be sure to watch all your programs here on Coast to Coast Network. There's too many for me to remember, of course. But there's programming throughout the week. So if you like sports, if you like entertainment, you're here with us. Among other things, for Bros, Creeping It Real yesterday on Thursdays. That's always a scare tactic. You want to watch that. It makes you think, but don't watch it in the dark. All right. So that's Coast to Coast. Make sure to follow us, all over social media, and then wherever you can find us, and give us a shout out, comment on any shows here. We'll read them. Most shows, the snotty shows won't read them, but guess what? We will. Because I have a snout, but not a big one. All right, so let's get this out of the way now. Taylor Swift, she's everywhere. She's been named 2023 Person of the Year. Obviously, she's been very successful. We all know the story about her moving to Nashville, becoming a singer. She got her big break with Kenny Chesney on tour, and she was 17 years old. And ever since then, since 2008, she's been off in the stars. And she's now a billionaire. She's had a successful run of music. She's going to have an album coming out pretty soon. I think December 13th, I want to say. And Chris, if we have a comment about that, I guess we could put it up. But I told somebody to come or comment on, that. But because I don't know much about her music other from whatever came on the radio. But we talked about her Eras Tour movie and how big it has become. All over the globe, how much it made money-wise. It's amazing to think. So if you follow her on Instagram, you'll know that, hey, she's going to make a new album, and there it is. But for her to be on the cover of the Person of the Year award for Time, it's amazing to me, because when you really think about it, she's had a long, great career. She's only 33. It's only going to get better. She's dating Travis Kelce from the Kansas City Chiefs, so everybody's watching football now that normally wouldn't. And you know what? I'm not trying to diss or anything like that, but I can't remember a musician on that magazine for the Person of the Year award. It was always like a chemist, a scientist, a doctor, something like that. But Taylor Swift, thank you, Chrissy Wilson. I know nothing about that, but she says Taylor Swift's concert movie will be available on digital on December 13th. So that's what my good friend was talking about. Anyway, Crispy Bacon, I'll start with you. What do you think about Taylor Swift being on the cover of Time Magazine as the Person of the Year of 2023?
Yeah, I don't think about it, I don't go, who's going to be on the cover this year? But looking back, it does make sense. You hear, week after week, it seems like, or month after month, that she had the tour, where she's going this week or this month. And, now you throw in sports into the mix with her dating Travis Kelce. On the plus side, it gets more viewers to football. Not that they need it, but it gets more people watching. And like you said, fans that normally don't watch it are now watching it, and it can do some good for stuff like that, and maybe the economy in general.
Now,
but
looking
back at it now, I'm kind of not surprised. I'm just not surprised.
So I was looking at her tour dates for next year, and she has some in October, November, September, December. And I'm thinking, wouldn't that get in the way of the relationship with Kelce and Taylor Swift? Maybe she's gonna break up with her or break up with Travis, before the season starts next year. We'll have to wonder about that. Who knows? We never go out of style here in the Entertainment Hour. Dragon Viper, what do you think about Taylor Swift going on the cover, the Person of the Year of Time Magazine?
Oh, Taylor Swift, Taylor Swift, Taylor Swift. That's all I ever really hear anymore. I'm like right in the middle of, yes, it's a good thing. No, it's not. She is absolutely everywhere. And I've said this on other shows before. She is absolutely everywhere, and it's driving me nuts. When she was a country singer, when she started out in 08, I thought she was pretty good. She had some good songs. She did an amazing job with all these songs that she was doing when she was singing country. She ends up in pop, and she ends up becoming annoying, and it just seems like a lot of her songs are constant same words over and over and over, or even a chorus being the same words over and over and over. And, from what I've listened to ever since she left the country. So, like I said, I'm not downing her completely. I did enjoy her country. I did enjoy, all her songs from there. But and again, hearing about her all the time. I can't turn a corner walking down the road without hearing her name, because everybody's talking about her. And then, of course, then you got her and Travis together, and it's just like, I don't know. I don't know why that has to be up here in superstardom, with both of them. But I think that, like I said, I'm on the fence on this one. I think it's a good, part of me thinks it's a good thing that she's on there, but part of me doesn't, because nowadays I'm so annoyed with her. So, yeah, does she deserve it? Yeah, part of me thinks she deserves it. The other part doesn't.
I think next time we see her, she'll be on the WWE circuit, and we'll have run between.
There's enough annoying people in that. Okay, there doesn't need to be another.
I would be
one.
surprised.
Oh my god! Imagine Taylor from the top rope
would
or
not be
whatever.
surprised.
Just
Oh my god, we don't need any more annoying people in WWE.
I would
right
not
now.
be
We have enough.
surprised.
she lines up all her boyfriends in the middle of the ring, and she just body slams them all. That would be something. Oh man. Yeah, I remember her definitely from 07 or basically 2008, where she was definitely a country singer. There was pop songs, that country turned into pop songs, and she went off from there. And I didn't know like she would become this. And it's amazing to think she's around the same age as me, or a little bit younger, but it's just amazing that this has happened for her. And I think hopefully this will be the last time I'll have her in one of these topics. I mean, who writes these topics for this show anyway,
Yeah,
right?
who does? Huh? I'm looking at him.
Yeah. I'll try to get her in the show next show, or maybe this will be the last one for 2023. Who knows? But hey, it's entertainment hour, so she's entertaining everybody. All right, some unfortunate news. December 5th, so this week, unfortunately, Norman Lear passed away. He was a long careered director, television, film, political, social activism, philanthropy. He was also I believe, a World War II vet. He passed away at 101. Which is a long, long time, but he is a legend when it comes to Emmy, producing and writing shows and sitcoms, which this is a theme throughout the show tonight. He's Emmy Award-winning, Peabody Award-winning producer, writer, as I mentioned. He was best known. And I didn't really know who wrote all these shows, but when you think about it, at the time in the 1970s, this was in the 80s. This was huge because he wrote shows, produced shows like All in the Family, One Day at a Time. Thank you, Chrissy. That was just coming up. The Jeffersons, Good Times. I believe there was some more. Fried Green Tomatoes. I think that was a movie. Maud. So that was a one of the Golden Girls was had her own show, I guess, before. No, Golden Girls. I started to watch that like a couple of years ago, and I couldn't believe what they were saying. That was that was ridiculous.
I like that show. Sorry.
Yeah. The Andy Williams Show. He was executive producer there before all of the really shows we knew. But it was just amazing to think, just all the shows he did, and how just big they were when it came to race, religion. You know, nobody was really talking about that in the 70s, and all of a sudden, you know, Archie Bunker became a hit person. George Jefferson, J.J. Walker, or J.J. whomever for Good Times. I totally forgot. But I actually, other from One Day at a Time, I don't remember watching that whatsoever. It looks like it has Paul Reiser in it. But the Jeffersons, Silver Spoons, Facts of Life, I totally remember that. Why did I just say that? 227, that was a really underrated show. But yeah, there are all these shows that just knocked down barriers. I thought Norman Lear, he really opened up for future generations of shows now that you see and you know, the last 30, 40 years where it's just been, we're going to break down barriers with these shows. We're not afraid to talk about things, and really led to others doing what he did. So I'll start with Dragon Viper with this one. How will you remember Norman Lear and all those shows that he produced or wrote?
Honestly, I really haven't watched any of those shows he's produced or written. I mean, I saw the headlines and read a little bit about him, and I'm just like, I don't even know who that is, honestly. I mean, I did notice that he was in, you know, South Park and The Simpsons, so I'm sure I probably, you know, I watched those
right.
two shows, so I'm sure that I've seen him in an episode of one of those shows. Other than that, I mean, the name didn't even ring a bell, and I mean, all those shows that you even mentioned that he produced or wrote, I really didn't watch any of them. So, I mean, I really don't have much to say about that.
Chris, any words about any of those shows? Have you seen any of them? And then
Yeah.
the impact, and lasting impact of
Yeah,
Norman Lear.
yeah, I've seen a couple of those shows, maybe a few episodes, maybe most of them, but he will be missed. I think some people at first are going to be like, you know, like Dragon Viper was saying, who is that? You know, and then they kind of read his, you know, what he did and all that's like, I've watched that show, heard about that show, or whatever the case might be. But I think he'll be definitely missed to, you know, all of his fans and supporters.
That's true. He has a lasting legacy that will just go forever. Lots of those things, though, that Archie Bunker and George Jefferson probably you can't say now, but I guess that's why things aren't as good as they used to be. All right, so I think we all know Christmas is coming up. I mean, look behind me. You got the Christmas tree. You got the bag of nothing in there. I don't think. But we know one Christmas song that spans the hands of time. That, of course, is Brenda Lee's hit song 65 years ago, Rocking Around the Christmas Tree. I think everybody knows it. Everybody has heard it a million times. It actually topped the charts just I believe this month here, it took over Mariah Carey's "All I Want for Christmas Is You." We've of course heard all of that. Mariah Carey, of course, is the queen of Christmas, but others are saying Kelly Clarkson or Reba McEntire, whatever the case may be. But it's amazing to think, even 65 years later, Brenda Lee, who sung that song at 13 years old, that song is still number one in people's hearts. I mean, newer generations are listening to it because of their generations in the past listening to it. So it's amazing to see how this holiday tune, on Monday, it became at the top of the Billboard Hot 100 list. And again, it was back in 1958. That's just amazing to think. And now she made a long overdue music video of that. So I don't know if you want to see that, but it's out there. I guess Mariah Carey, she's going to take a back seat to that. Mariah's great in her, slot as well. But I'll start with Chris. What do you think about this historic topping on the Billboard 100 list and of that song too, and just its longevity?
Man, I mean, I've heard the song probably every year. Mariah Carey too, but I think you're starting to hear, classic songs like that. Maybe go back and forth throughout the years. It's never one. There's plenty of them. I think it's good for the artist, especially that wrote something like that, a long time ago. I think I heard it was she wrote that like at 17,
13
years old.
15 and 17. I can't remember. So, okay. But good song. I'm glad it's the top, and I think we're going to start seeing, songs rotate.
How about Dragon Viper? How about you? I'm guessing you know the song. You probably love the song. What you think about its Billboard topping mark here? Even after 65 years later, it's still a hit.
I'm actually really surprised. Good for her for it being number one. Because you go every year. I mean, the song is on Home Alone, so I mean you're listening to it anyway when you're watching Home Alone, which I do every year. But I'm actually surprised only because of the fact that you've got Mariah Carey's song. And that seems to be one of the most popular songs every single year. And so I feel that her song, Mariah Carey's song, is always at the top there. And there was even an article on TMZ saying that she even bought Brenda Lee, Mariah Carey bought Brenda Lee flowers to congratulate her for it hitting number one. So, I think it's a good song to be number one. And, I kind of hope that Mariah Carey takes a back seat for a while for the next several Christmases and allows other Christmas songs to reach number one, in the years coming. So, hopefully it's a start for something different every year.
Yeah, because I think we all know that we're all going to have our company holiday parties, and the same songs will come up at all of them in the same order, by the way, every time it seems like. Bring more eggnog or vodka, whatever you drink out there.
Yeah.
I know we don't really play video games, but it's something to mention. So the Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer came out this week, and it broke all type of records on YouTube and Twitter, X, what this game is going to be like. So it will come out in 2025. it might be $200, whatever the case is. I mean, people are getting screwed, you know. And then I also mentioned to somebody else that I think video game companies are really thinking about really giving it to their customers by charging players by the hour of gameplay. And I just think
So
that's
what?
totally wrong. It might be a case in a couple of years when that game does come out. Just something to look out for. So all the games of people playing for free or just buying the game. Remember, it all started with like VC, where you had to like pay to advance in the game or wear certain clothes or whatever. But more on GTA 6. The main character is a female, and that hasn't happened before. There's been plenty of females before that, but it's kind of a Bonnie and Clyde game. But we all know Grand Theft Auto. You basically do what you want. This one is set back in Vice City or Vice. Of course, that was after Game 3. Yeah, after GTA 3, it was in between 3 and 4, I want to say, and then Vice City, and then San Andreas came out, my favorite, and then
forgot about that one.
Yeah, that is my favorite. I got so much aggression out when I was a certain age with that. Yeah. Anyway, let's get off of that. Dragon Viper, you have anything about Grand Theft Auto 6, the trailer coming out? Did you hear about it, and are you shocked by the reviews of it?
I did hear about it, and I haven't played Grand Theft Auto since San Andreas, and I think I don't know. It's because I don't play games anymore. I'm kind of not in the loop on things. I did happen to catch a trailer for number 6, and I think it's gonna. It'd be worth a try for all you guys that play games out there. I think it'd be a good game. So, yeah, definitely would be worth a try. And if I still play games, especially games nowadays. I still play games once in a while from the past, but games now, I don't really do the newer games. So for those that do, definitely worth a try.
But make sure your bank account is full.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's not going to be cheap.
No. I mean, I'm already losing at the game of life, and people want me to go play this game. I'm like, no, I'm already losing this game that I'm living. Crispy Bacon, are you interested in this GTA 6 game, and have you seen the trailer, and what you think about all this?
I've seen the trailer. I don't know if I would buy it. I haven't played the other 5. But I mean, video games have changed throughout the years. The way we get the games have changed throughout the years. Now most of the games are, you get it digitally. Sometimes you can get them in stores, but mostly it's digital now. There's not the flashy, the game's coming out today at this time at this store. You go down there, you wait in a long line, you get it. So I mean, it's good that they're putting out another game, but I don't think it's as flashy as it is now.
That's funny you mentioned that, because I remember like lining up a couple of years with some friends for like a Madden game. I think it was like 07, 08 or something. And there was a time where GameStop or EB was there, and we would wait in the cold for those games. And that's all gone away now. You get the games you download them, or you get them sent to you, or whatever the case is now. But I was looking at the graphics of this game, and I was just thinking to myself, man, it all looks the same now. Like everything
Yeah, I
I
think
don't
they
know
said
for
it was
me.
going to be remastered. I think they're going to remaster it.
That's what I didn't like about the other GTAs, about Vice City and San Andreas. The players, they all look dark, all the characters. Like they all
Mhm.
look bloated and dark, and not me, but the players. And
I know.
uh and I don't know, I just the original graphics, you just love that because you were younger at the time. It takes you back to that. So I probably won't be playing, but if anybody out there wants to, bring me over, I'll try it or whatever. But that's in 2025. We'll see what happens in the game of life. All right. So next
I
topic
used to
here
play
is.
that board game.
I suck at that board game.
Oh, I hate it. I hated that and Monopoly because that went
Yes.
forever.
Mm.
Oh. All right, so the next topic here, we're going to preview or recap a movie, a TV show, or a video game that we played. For me, first, I saw this movie called Waitress, and for some reason, I don't know what the hell, I was just feeling it that day. It's basically a movie from 2007. This woman named Jenna Carey Russell, she works at a diner in a small southern town, and she's a genius at making pies. Her marriage is overbearing, but she meets a doctor. She becomes pregnant, and she gets with the doctor. It's just a good, comedy, comedy drama movie. It did pretty well. I think it's 89 on Rotten Tomatoes, 7 out of 10 on IMDb. But it's just one of those movies where it's like, there's probably a lot of people in that situation, a lot of women too. And you think about, going to a restaurant like I did today, and there's waitresses. Their whole life isn't just like bringing food out to people. They actually have a life after that. And I haven't really seen Carrie Russell in anything else, but that was kind of shocking, and I want to put that over Waiting. I love that movie, Waiting, with Anna Faris, among others. That's probably one of my favorite movies when it comes to waitresses. But this one was named Waitress. I'll start with Dragon Viper. Anything you wanted to watch or anything you have watched lately you want to share?
Okay, so this is kind of embarrassing because I've never seen this before, but I did end up actually for the first time watching The Breakfast Club.
Really?
Yeah, it's kind of embarrassing. I'm 39
No.
years old, and you would think, being born in '84, I would have seen it sometime before now, but I didn't. But I did watch it the other night for the first time, and I actually thought it was pretty good. I guess it had something to do with a friend of mine, saying, laughing, going, "Oh my God, I can't believe you've never seen it." So they talked me into it, and I watched it, and like I said, I thought it was pretty good. I mean, with Molly Ringwald and Estevez and all them, and making an entire movie based on an 8-hour detention. I mean, when I had detention, it was just 30-45 minutes through lunch period, and that was it. So I couldn't imagine what it would be to have detention for like 8 hours. And but yeah, they actually did it, and I really liked it. So yeah, first time ever, shocking. I did get to watch that.
I freaking love that movie. The principal in that movie
yeah.
is awesome. I
Well,
remember
see-
him in Trading Places as well.
Well, see, the thing is that I would watch not another teen movie, which does make fun of the Breakfast Club,
Yeah.
and so of course I'm watching it backwards, kind of in reverse, where a lot of people have seen the real movie first, and then they would see the spoof of it, but then I did it backwards and watched the spoof of it, then the real movie, so it made a little more sense. Well, it makes a little more sense now watching Not Another Teen Movie, going, okay, this is what's really supposed to happen instead of this.
So thank you for bringing that up, because last week I saw this movie and we talked about it. Me and Chris on the last episode of Entertainment Hour, we talked about a movie called Better Off Dead with John Cusack, and it had a bunch of main characters from other high school movies in the 80s. And I was trying to remember what movie later on made fun of other high school movies, and it was Not Another Teen Movie. I vaguely remember it. Like, I'll watch it if I find it. But thank you. That's what I was trying to remember.
You should have used me last week, huh?
Yeah, because for a week or something, I was like, you know what? I'll get back to it. I maybe I'll find it, or maybe. But Better Off Dead. That movie is like quirky and crazy. It's funny as hell.
Mm-hmm.
So go check that out again if you were part of this last week. Chris, anything you've seen or anything you want to watch or preview?
No, but one thing I might rewatch is Napoleon Dynamite.
I love that movie.
I love that movie.
I thought it was really
Who's your
good.
favorite?
Napoleon.
Definitely, I can see that.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and you know what's funny? And shout out to my sister-in-law, Shannon. She was the first one to put me up on that movie. I think on Mean Girls too. So I really love both of those movies because of her. But man, looking back, it was cringe, but it was okay. There was no, social media or any crap like that. It was basically what Montana would be back in the day. And it was awesome. I totally loved it. I forgot to ask you, Dragon Viper, since you watched Breakfast Club, who's your favorite character in that after seeing it?
Oh man. I've only seen one, so I can't remember his name, but he's the badass.
Yeah,
I like him.
I forget the dude's name, but he was always a troublemaker, and he ends up with the pretty girl and walking off the football field with his arm in the air, and then they had to go to school the following Monday, and it all went away, probably. I'm kind of surprised it was never a Breakfast Club 2. Maybe it was done a different way or something in a movie, or they had a little scene in it. But I'm so shocked, because you would think nowadays, especially, there would be another movie like that. Maybe have a woman, probably a lesbian, be that badass role. I could definitely see that. But all right, so let's get to the next topic, and it's something, Dragon Viper, we introduced last week. It was just because I had a CD laying around or something. But okay, a music album that you really like, and we're going to do this every week. So for me, I'll bring up No Doubt's Rocksteady from 2001, 2002, 2001, but I remember hearing it in like 03 or 04, and I was in love with it. So let's see. So that's the CD there. There's Gwen Stefani's stomach. That I have the same stomach, by the way. There's the cover of the album there. So had so many great songs. I mean, one song you probably heard, everybody, is like "Hey Baby" and "Hella Good." God, Underneath It All, Running.
Don't Speak.
No, that was Tragic Kingdom back in '96, I want to say. But you think about how long No Doubt has been around, and Rocksteady, I think, is probably my favorite album of theirs. I mean, there's all these great. The whole album is really, really good. I don't think I ever skipped. It's really good when you had an album back in the day, and you didn't have to skip it because you liked every song. That is rare. I mean, it was so rare that this was the case, but this happened with this CD, with this album. All right, so I'll let Dragon Viper go last because this will be his first time at this.
Yeah.
Crispy Bacon, what's one music album that that you want to talk about today or that you heard recently? Oh, you're on mute, Chris.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't think I've really listened to any albums.
Well, okay, what's a song that you've heard this week? You're like, oh wow, I haven't heard that in a while. Rocking Around the Christmas Tree by Brenda Lee.
Probably.
And then don't
probably
forget
heard that
the
once
whole
or
month
twice,
you're
yeah.
gonna hear it. Yeah, you're gonna hear it triple that the next couple of weeks. So
Probably,
Dragon
yeah.
Viper.
Oh,
Let's see if you have like a favorite album from the past or you've heard a song recently that you haven't heard in a while. What's one you could share with us?
you know, I besides movies, I absolutely love music. I do. And so it's real easy for me to be able to pick any album, anytime kind of thing. But I am going to choose one, and it's going to be Metallica, the Black Album. I can listen through that entire CD, from the beginning to end. I could just do it constantly every day. I mean, especially the song "Nothing Else Matters."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I grew up really was into country because I guess it depends on who I was around because my mom loved country, my dad liked gospel,
Wow.
my uncle liked oldies, my older stepbrother liked rock. It just depended on who I was around, so I ended up liking pretty much any kind of music. But when I was 14, 15 years old, I actually started getting into Metallica. And I think they're an amazing band. I think the album, the Black Album, is my absolute favorite album that Metallica has. So that's going to be my album for the night is Metallica Black Album.
Not to be confused with Jay-Z's Black Album back in 2003.
Jay-Z sucks. Just saying.
Enter Sandman is one song that, of course, I know that I've heard for years. Wherever I May Roam. Other from that, I would have to hear it to, try to figure it out. But Metallica, they've been around forever, and I know a lot of people that love it. It gets them hyped up. It gets them ready in the morning. Gets them ready to go. That's their coffee music for the day. Not acoustic music. It's Metallica. Mine's DMX, by the way. If I need to wake up in the morning, it's DMX.
Well, and what's amazing is the fact that so I have a stepbrother who can actually play the drums. And so I know there were days where he was like getting ready for work or just relaxing, and he literally would start playing the drums along with Metallica, and he would do really well with it.
That'll wake you up.
So luckily he had a room up above the garage, so nobody could really hear it. But yeah, I thought he did an incredible job at doing that. So
wow, that's something. Jeez. My brother was a pretty good drummer. We'll see if he remembers anything. Hopefully, I can get him a drum set or something. So let's talk about what's coming out streaming on, Netflix, Prime Video, Disney Plus, Hulu. And there's some interesting things. If you were a fan of the show Monk, the TV show, there's Mr. Monk's Last Case, a Monk movie. And I'm hoping, we get a bunch of
posted.
Tony Shalom. He won 3 Emmys for that show back in the day, and it will be out. It's out tonight, by the way, on on Peacock. Excuse me, on Peacock. Reacher season 2 on Prime Video. That's one I've heard of, and I don't know much about, but it's a kind of a war type of show. Type of show. Master on Netflix. It's Bradley Cooper being a maestro. Maestro, excuse me.
Yeah, Maestro.
Yeah, I can't see that, but wow. Okay, that's what I guess he had to be. Buckled down and intelligent for that role, because we've seen Bradley Cooper in the past, other from that Sniper movie. He's always had, funny movies, not something where he has to be too serious.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be out coming up soon for Netflix, I think on December 20th. Apple TV, Frog and Toad Christmas Eve, Winter Blues, The Snoopy Show. That's something for the kids there. Okay, let's see what else comes up, because there's so much stuff, for Christmas out there. Disney Plus will have Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, that movie right there. Let's see what else here. I probably should have looked at this before. Diary of a Wimpy Kid's Christmas, Cabin Fever. That's a premiere coming out today. If you're a fan of Doctor Who, The Giggle premieres tomorrow. Science Fair, that's also a new series on Monday. Tuesday, Dancing with the Stars. There's so much to really like, but guys, what is some of the streaming shows or series that you might want to check out here, or movies? I know for sure it's that Monk one for me. I'll start with Chris.
Yeah, probably Monk. I'm trying to think of something else. I can't really off the top of my head, but we'll go with that one.
All right, Randy, what you think about this?
The ones you read, I don't really want to. I don't really care about. Don't really find fascinating or anything. I'm even looking at these lists, and I'm just like, either I've seen them or I kind of don't. We'll just go with a movie I've seen that I want to watch again when it comes back out on streaming, and that's The Marine. With John Cena, amazing movie. So I'm just gonna go along with The Marine.
Now, I've never actually seen that, but I might have to.
It's really good. I really like it.
All right. So we'll get to, and shout out Fandango.com for previewing some movies coming out this weekend. Die Hard will be a movie re-release in theaters.
It's a Christmas movie.
No, it's not.
I'll let y'all talk.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm just playing.
I've actually never really seen it, but I get the gist of it. Again, it was part of a Cleveland show spectacular where Cleveland Brown was Bruce Willis, and that's all about really I know. Love Actually, that's a 20th anniversary. I think that's one I wanted to see forever. And then Sarah Bareilles will have Waitress the Musical, and it was based off the movie I just saw that I just talked about. So who knows? I might take a gander at that. There's also The Perfect Christmas. Monty Python's The Holy Grail. I've never seen that, but I heard it's really, really funny stuff.
It is.
Our Son, it's about a gay couple there with a son. The Grinch Stole Christmas. That's, a fun movie. I mean, I vaguely remember that with Jim Carrey, but I've seen that. before. So, and then A Christmas Story, of course, the 40th year anniversary, that will come up pretty soon. I can't believe that, by the way. And believe this or not, I think probably 8 years ago was the first time I seen that movie. And it's always on Turner, every Christmas, back to back to back to back. I never bothered to watch it. I finally did.
I watch it every single year since I was a little kid. Every
And
year.
I probably will now, coming up soon. All right, Chris, any of those movies interest you that I read off, like you would go watch in the theaters?
Maybe Die Hard.
How about you,
That's not-
Dragon Viper?
I'm right along there with Crispy Bacon, Die Hard, or bring back the Christmas Story in theaters. I would go see that too.
And bring back that love and feeling. Let's get to our top 10 list because this is the real fun part. Now, I'll go last here, but I really want to know what is the top 10 favorite TV sitcoms for all of you. And please put in if we have any comments, Chris will put them out there. If anybody else has a top 10 list, they'll come up with one or top 5, whatever you can come up with. I guess I'll start off with Dragon Viper. What's your top 10 favorite TV sitcoms?
Okay, so here's what I did. I wrote a bunch down that I like, and then I did 1 through 10 on these ones. And it's pretty much going to be based on what I can continuously binge watch forever. So these are the movies my top 10 that I really like that I could binge watch continuously. Number 1, Boy Meets World.
I didn't put that on.
Number 2, Friends.
I've never seen it, but yeah, I get it.
Number 3, The Nanny.
Oh, hell yeah. Even though she had a horrible voice, I loved her.
Number 4, Punky Brewster.
I've never seen. Oh, shit.
Number 5, The Wonder Years.
Never seen that either. But
Number 6, Saved by the Bell.
yes.
Number 7, Married with Children.
Yes.
Number 8, Roseanne.
Mm-hmm.
Number 9, That 70s Show.
Yes.
And number 10, The Golden Girls.
I love your list, and a lot of them I didn't actually. All of them I didn't have, but I love them all. That's amazing. What were some of your honorable mentions that you could think of like now or you didn't put in?
I had like Hey Dude.
What was that about?
Hey Dude was them being these kids being on a ranch, and it's almost like a camp type thing.
Was that Nickelodeon?
Yeah.
Okay, I've never seen it. That's
and then Growing Pains. Who's the Boss?
Oh wow.
And,
Yep.
And then I also had Full House. So.
All right, so I guess I'll go with mine since Chris stepped out for a little bit. And dude, I had a hard time with this, and then you just brought up some that I will go watch right now if I had time. All right, so Full House was one of them. I think I've just seen a lot of these shows. I've seen every episode too. So it's just like, hey, I can tell you what happens in the first minute. I don't have to watch a show.
Oh, absolutely.
And, Full House. So I didn't get to see Fuller House. I didn't want to be. I didn't want to ruin what was, So, so yeah, Full House, Home Improvement. Of course, I've seen forever. I just love the family dynamic of it, and yeah, it was just amazing. I think because it kind of mirrored my family, or before I came into this world by mistake. My parents having 3 boys. You know how they did in the show. Yeah, I totally understood all that. So Family Matters, of course, with Urkel and everybody else. Um, just the dynamic of the father being a cop in Chicago. I mean, that's just ridiculous in its own right. Yeah, dude, definitely Step by Step. And recently it's been on, I want to say True TV, but I found it on the app, so I know most of the episodes, but I love going through order. Um, Susan Summers was amazing. Patrick Duffy, all the kids, the nephew. What was the weird
Toby,
dude? Yeah, was he the nephew of
he was the
someone?
nephew.
That's right.
He was
Just
uncle. He was Frank's nephew.
That's it. Okay. He was lived out there with this van. He would do weird things. He would protect everyone. He'd be for everyone. It's amazing, just that show and the dynamics of it. Plus, a lot of people in the damn house.
Yeah.
The Carmichael Show. So Jared Carmichael came out. He's a comedian. He came out with this show on NBC. It only lasted, I want to say, a couple of years, but it had David Allen Greer among others. For some reason, I loved it, and I was totally heartbroken when they took it away, and that was like almost 10 years ago or something like that. But it was really funny for its time. And of course, one show I've seen back in the day, or not back in the day, fairly recently, I started to go in order. Laverne and Shirley. I again identify more with Laverne, just the weirdness that happens. But that's just a show. You have Lenny and Squiggly doing their stupid things, and the whole family business and all that going on. Just people trying to make it as they can, Fresh Prince of Bel Air. Again, that's one show I could just say, hey, this happens and this happens and this happens at the end. It was so you don't want to be Will Smith now, but you wanted to be Will Smith back then. That's for sure. The Parenthood. So this was Robert Townsend, basically a big family in I think Brooklyn or Bronx, something like that. That was a really funny comedy. Robert Townsend being a legend that he is. Steve Harvey Show. For some reason, I remember watching that back then, and I didn't get the references, but now I definitely get the references and all the kids and the stupid things they would say. I loved that show. Sister Sister. For some reason, I watched that back then. The Maury twins, and it was just a funny show. Smart Guy. That was a funny show because you have like a boy genius around all these dumb teenage high schoolers, and he goes to high school with them, and all the challenges of trying to grow up, not supposed to be in high school. And then Hanging with Mr. Cooper. I have to go back and watch it all, but just because it had something to do with sports, it had something to do with basketball. I think that's why I watched it back then. But dude, there's countless others. You mentioned Saved by the Bell. I used to watch that all the time, and I think it's still on locally somewhere. Hang Time, that whole TNBC era back in the 90s, I used to watch all of that with NBA Inside stuff. But with Hang Time, with California Dreams, all those sitcoms that were just corny as hell, I loved them all. Like, I will watch them all, no doubt about it. Before I name any more and make this show 2 hours, Crispy Bacon, what's your top 10 TV sitcoms?
As you do.
Yeah. Let's see. Of course, you gotta put Friends up there. I think. You also got The Office.
Oh, yeah.
Do we count animation?
I wouldn't say so, because that's but Dragon Vibe, would you consider like King of the Hill, which is my favorite show of all time? You consider that a sitcom, or is that just an animation?
Yeah. It's a sitcom, animation sitcom.
Okay.
Oh my god! So King of the Hill is my favorite, and Family Guy. Duh.
You also got Big Bang Theory, How I Met Your Mother, Modern Family.
I haven't.
Modern Family's good.
I gotta get into that.
I don't think it's on the air now, but
Mhm.
you could probably watch it on Peacock or something.
Right.
Let's see. You also have Malcolm in the Middle, Scrubs.
Oh, I remember. Oh,
and
hell
they-
yeah. Malcolm in the Middle.
And they relaunched I guess an updated version, but Frasier.
Oh, that's right. I think we previewed that vaguely. I understood basically what the show was about, about Frasier being on the radio and he has his friend, he has his dog and his dad there. Yeah. You got some elegance on your TV sitcoms, Chris. That's something. Oh man, that's amazing. All right, let's do some trivia and get the hell out of here because I'm gonna actually, when we're off, I'm gonna start watching whatever I can and just pass out around 3 in the morning and not realize what I watched.
There you
All right, we'll do a best of 3 for trivia. All right, Chris.
go.
So,
Yes.
in what 2004 quiz show did Ken Jennings win over $2.5 million?
What is Jeopardy?
That's it. I like how you answered that. Of course, now you can find him as the host among other hosts there on Jeopardy now. So that was really good. RIP, of course, to Alex Trebek. He was the best host, I think, other from Bob Barker, of all those game shows.
Yeah.
Tom Bergeron throw in there as well, I guess. All right, Dragon Viper. So, on Family Guy, what musical instrument does Lois Griffin teach?
The piano.
Yeah, you got that. All right, Chris, what is the
Yes.
title of the show that the boys in South Park love the most?
I know this.
I love this show.
Family Guy? I don't know. I know they parody some stuff, but Family Guy.
Dragon Viper.
Terrence and Phillip.
I love that.
Them Canadian flappy heads.
I love that. Oh, I got to go back and watch that. All right, Dragon Viper. So, which state is the setting for the medical drama Greg's Anatomy?
I don't know. I didn't watch Grey's Anatomy.
I'm gonna say New York.
No, it's Washington State.
Oh.
I think based in Seattle because I've never watched it. I had an ex who watched
never
it all
have
the
either.
time, and I saw the Space Needle, and that's basically all I remember from that. Because I would just walk away from any time it was on. All right, let me try to get another show here. All right, Chris, to end the your shows here. Which cartoon character is fond of the phrase "dough"?
Donut. Homer Simpson.
Yeah, that's true. All right, Dragon Viper. Which NBC sketch comedy show featured Gilda Radner as one of 7 of the initial 7 cast members?
Oh wow. Repeat that question.
All right, so let's see. What NBC sketch comedy show featured Gilda Radner as one of the initial 7 cast members back in 1975?
Oh boy. Jeez. I'm gonna have to say Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
All right.
When you
So
said sketch comedies, I'm like, I know this. But
And I haven't watched that in a while. I don't know if it's funny anymore. I don't know if it'd be funny anymore.
The only time I ever watched Saturday Night Live is when WWE wrestlers were on there. That's the only time. So
I know The Rock's been on there.
Rock,
Has Stone Cold been on there?
no,
Probably Cena. I'm
Oh,
sure
yeah.
Cena has.
I can see that. Who's that one? Oh God, there's one from a long time ago. I want to say that was on there.
Like,
Roddy Piper. I want to say. Mr. T, of
probably
course.
was.
Hulk Hogan. They've probably been on some sketches back in the day with Eddie Murphy, if I'm visualizing that right. Anyway, it's been a great show. We're gonna get out of here. Immaculate Grid will be coming up next, I believe, Chris, on this network here.
Oh yeah, I saw something.
And I can't wait for that. I have all that useless knowledge, remember, Chris, and I just have nowhere to put it. So it just comes out of nowhere. Like Birds, like that movie you saw by Alfred Hitchcock. The same thing.
Yeah.
Birds.
I kind of want to go watch that. I don't know if it would be on, but I kind of want to see that just for fun. All right, we'll get out of here
I
with
think
some
it's on
final
Prime.
thoughts. Okay, I'll check that out. That sounds right. Crispy Bacon, what did you think of tonight's show?
Good show. Like the topics. Good TV trivia and the top 10 list. So good show. Tune in next week, and we'll probably have more stuff to talk about.
Like another Taylor Swift topic, I'm just kidding. Dragon Viper, what's your final thoughts?
Maybe.
My final thoughts. I don't want to put on camera. No. My final thoughts. I am thankful for this show. I'm thankful for everybody that went and watched it. And oh wow, my mind is blank. I've been up over 24 hours. Anyway, so I hope everybody has a good night. And if you want to see me, you'll see me again on Tuesday night for Between the Ropes. So
yeah, be sure to watch all of the content here on Coast to Coast Entertainment Network. I think I'll be on the Immaculate Grid tonight, and then Sports Minute coming up on Wednesday. Always topics that make you say, We'll get out with that. Everybody take care. Go watch a movie or go stream something, whatever the hell you want to do. Go watch an old movie or sitcom like I will. Again, rest in peace to Ryan O'Neal and Norman Lear, two figures. One more than the other, of course. Not hating, but that's just the way the ball bounces. Take care, folks, and join us for Entertainment Hour next week. Hopefully same time, hopefully same day, same place for all of us. Later, folks.